I want to thank NAPB for this opportunity to address you at the annual meetings. Are you passionate about plant breeding? I want to begin today by acknowledging Dr. Anne Marie Thoreau, the first NAPB friend of plant breeding. I found these quotes from Anne Marie in an article honoring Anne Marie's life of service. It was posted online in December 2016 prior to her being selected for the first Friends of Plant Breeding Award in 2017. I'm sure Anne Marie did not anticipate her words would be shared here today, but they are perfect as a model that she has set for us as Friends of Plant Breeding. Anne Marie said, "I enjoy the role of taking the initiative to look around, to see things that need to be done, and get started. Often others join in and carry on the work." Anne Marie is passionate about plant breeding. This is the role model for all NAPB friends of plant breeding that is being amplified here today for our emerging plant breeders. Look around, see the need, get started. Others will join, carry on the work. Don't wait to get involved. This approach is great for all plant breeders and NAPB members. It is a lesson that has been enshrined in the career and legacy of Dr. Norman Borlaug. He was another visionary plant breeder and a doer. He had a deep sense of urgency compelling him to action. He had a passion for plant breeding. Like Anne Marie, Dr. Borlaug passed on that passion to others at every opportunity. He especially enjoyed inspiring and encouraging emerging plant breeders and hunger fighters. He counted on others to join in and carry on the work. Reflecting on her career, Anne Marie said, "I am grateful to have been able to bring different researchers together into networks and projects. This benefits science and the public by creating opportunities to exchange good ideas, recruit young scientists, and search for funding. That is where I can help, as someone who understands the world of science, seeks to be useful, and enjoys creating connections and looking for opportunities." I think Anne Marie's words could have been written by Dr. Borlaug. It is the same spirit, the same passion for plant breeding, and for making the world a better place. As a friend of plant breeding, I share Anne Marie's views. I enjoy being useful, creating connections, building relationships, looking for opportunities to serve the community, and acting on those visions. I love encouraging others to join in and carry on the work. I find they often improve what is being started. NAPB owes much gratitude to Anne Marie's vision and hard work to help bring us together as the National Association of Plant Breeders. I think Anne Marie would agree that this is a wonderful feeling to be recognized by your friends and colleagues for having and sharing this passion for plant breeding. It is a great honor to be in the same short list with Anne Marie as a friend of plant breeding. Plant breeding passion. What is it? Why is it important? And where does it come from? Here are some statements about passion for you to ponder. I love the word ponder. I don't think we do enough of it. Passion is a strong desire that can get you to do amazing things. Passion can push you through difficult times because you don't care what it takes to become better. Passion is an emotion to be acted upon. Without action, passion yields no worthwhile result. When you have passion for something, you love it even when you hate it. I'm not sure I know what that one means. I'll let you ponder that for yourself. Finally, You can have all the passion in the world for something, but if you never do anything about it, that passion is useless. How do we relate plant breeding and passion? What is plant breeding passion? Plant breeding passion is a strong desire to achieve results through new cultivars. A thirst to be relevant. Our cultivars must have impact. Plant breeding passion increases by seeing the success of hybrids and varieties that you helped to become viable products, ones that have real impact on many lives across the landscape. I like that we have an award, 2 awards now, recognizing noteworthy impact of plant breeding. Such awards show non-plant breeders the importance of what we do. They demonstrate what exceptional plant breeding passion looks like. For me, plant breeding passion includes a sense of urgency, speed breeding, shuttle breeding, cycle time, genomic and phenomic selection, prediction, gene editing, etc. It's sometimes described as fire in the belly, indicating that it comes from deep within. A strong work ethic, get-her-done attitude. I can tell you plant breeding passion is important because employers value it. Hiring managers evaluate it. Selection committees discuss it prior to the final hiring. I base this on my experience working with many hiring managers and teams at Monsanto as global breeder sourcing lead. Around the world, they all wanted candidates to show that they were passionate about the breeding roles that they were applying to. It is one of those intangibles that can make the difference on who gets the job offer. I think it's important because it instills hope in others who are working to solve complex challenges where improved plants can help us. I could not have been a successful plant breeder without hope feeding my passion. Teams function better. More gets done in less time. Innovation is stimulated. Success breeds success. Plant breeding passion is highly contagious. When nourished properly, it encourages others. Breeders who have it love what they do every day. Plant breeding passion typically comes from experienced and influential people, people you trust, caring people. Think about influential people like beloved mentors who instilled the desire for plant breeding in you. Often, when meeting graduate students for the first time, I ask them, how did you become interested in plant breeding? There was almost always an experienced mentor or influential person that made the big difference for them in choosing our profession and pouring themselves into it. So I like to think relationships are the soil and encouragement is the fertilizer for growing passion in plant breeders. Initially, it comes from others. Think of your mentors. It gets internalized and comes from within. This does not happen overnight. External factors can shape it. Population growth, wars, poverty and starvation, and climate change. These drivers can have an impact, but I think they are usually secondary to the relationships that lead the way. Like plants, our passion in plant breeding grows stronger over time. Mentorship and awards programs change lives. Shown here in May of 2014 is a mentorship program known as the Hayes-Phillips Lectureship and Graduate Student Award. It was created 40 years prior in 1974 through the vision of Dr. Ron Phillips at the University of Minnesota. I believe 2021 was the 48th year for this program. Perhaps some of you have benefited from it. The longevity and success of the program testifies to its success. I can tell you confidently that without this program, there likely would not be a Borlaug Scholars Travel Grant and Mentoring Program in NAPB today. Ron Phillips was not my advisor. He was not on my graduate committee. He was, however, a trusted mentor in the lab next door to the one I worked in. He cared about students. I benefited from that fact. In 1976, I received the third H.K. Hayes Award. That year, Dr. Phillips invited distinguished alumnus Dr. Norman Borlaug to be the invited speaker for this award ceremony. He also invited Dr. Wayne Keim. I proudly include Dr. Keim here because without this Purdue professor taking interest in students, I would not have had a plant breeding career. You see, I had been admitted to dental school, but Dr. Keim made me a better offer, a career path in applied plant genetics and plant breeding. I love dentists, but it was an easy choice for me. I love plant breeding more. All of this brings me to the point, although I experienced a wonderful career in private sector breeding corn, I never forgot the importance of public plant breeders who encouraged and enabled this career path. I didn't know this career existed. Now back to my story. Prior to the event, Dr. Phillips handed me this copy of a book entitled Campaigns Against Hunger, published in 1967, 3 years prior to when Dr. Borlaug received the 1970 Nobel Peace Prize. I graduated from high school in 1967. I could relate to this book. Dr. Phillips said I had to read it prior to Dr. Borlaug's arrival. He sent me to the pathology department to meet with Dr. E.C. Stakeman, an emeritus professor who was an author and editor. Dr. Stakeman signed my book. Ron prophetically told me that the book would mean more to me later in life. He was right. In 2007, I had Dr. Borlaug sign the book just below Dr. Stakeman's signature. Dr. Borlaug's granddaughter Julie told me that it was an emotional experience, bringing back a flood of memories for Dr. Borlaug seeing his mentor's signature after more than 30 years. This mentoring program created by Dr. Phillips accelerated the growing plant breeding passion within me. It was the encouragement I needed at the right time. I love the picture on the back cover of this book jacket. It depicts the 3 authors in front of their vehicle that they drove on their original 1941 tour of Mexican agriculture to determine whether the U.S. could impact food production there. That survey trip ultimately ended up being a spark that ignited the Green Revolution. What I love about it is that the picture included one incredibly lucky graduate student, Richard Schultes, who was invited along by Professor Mangelsdorf. It intrigues me to imagine his version of that historic trip. Graduate students have a unique perspective that I really value when working on projects with them. On the right is a picture of this book, meaning more to me later in life, while using it to mentor the inaugural group of the 2018 NAPB Borlaug Scholars with their mentors. You see, as a friend of plant breeding, I understand the importance of plant breeding passion. I know that most, if not all of you listening, share the same passion for our profession and our scientific craft. Like Anne-Marie, you should look around, see things that need to be done, and get started. Like her, you should expect others to join in and carry on the work. Remember, you can have all the passion in the world for something, but if you never do anything about it, that passion is useless. I will end with this. NAPB is a wonderful organization for turning plant breeding passion into actions. I make this statement because NAPB has so many incredibly talented members who are already deeply passionate about plant breeding. We are doing great things. We are doing the right things. We can and should do more of the right things. We are still a young organization. We are still growing. In my opinion, we are growing too slowly. Where is the sense of urgency? Where's the fire in the belly, the passion? In July of 2019, NAPB had 451 total members. In our strategic plan, we set an achievable goal of reaching 650 members by 2023. That would have required gaining 40 members per year over the next 5 years. We needed this level of growth to support our grand goal of hiring our first dedicated staff person. In July of 2021, we had 477 members. That is a net gain of 26 members in 24 months. Surely we can do better than one new member a month. Now we need to make up for lost time. Therefore, I have an urgent challenge for each one of you regarding 2022 NAPB membership. Hear me now. Write this down. Please set a personal goal of recruiting at least one new NAPB member who does not appear in our current member directory. As NAPB members, you all have access to our online directory. You can type in any name to see whether your potential recruit is an active member. This is a great opportunity to increase our membership diversity. Do not quit on this goal until you are successful. This is key to NAPB growth in 2022. When that name of your recruit shows up in our directory, you can declare success. It is an easily attainable and measurable goal. This is key to NAPB growth in 2022 and beyond. Make it a reoccurring annual goal. As you renew your membership annually, look around, find a committee, and volunteer your services. Please support our grand goal for hiring our first NAPB staff member by 2023. Your contributions to the NAPB General Fund will help drive this goal. Now, I would like to acknowledge and personally thank our passionate Forlog scholars for a successful fundraising campaign this year. It was their idea and their effort. Thank you. Thank you to our generous Forlog Scholars donors and faithful sponsors. You are nurturing plant breeding passion in a very direct way. I commend you all for your voluntary actions and selfless service to NAPB. Driven by your passion for plant breeding, you are all friends of plant breeding. Express your passion with action. Get her done. It's a great time to be a plant breeder.